Ever lay awake at night wondering, like, why do we even sleep? It's so weird,
Yeah.
right? It's like we just conk out for hours. Today, we're going deep into the world of sleep.
Ooh, fun.
It's way more fascinating than you might think. We've got studies and cultural insights and even tips for better sleep. And get this, we spend a third of our lives asleep, but scientists still haven't completely figured out why.
It's true. You'd think something so essential would be, I don't know, more understood. But sleep is really still a bit of a mystery.
Totally. I mean, we eat for energy, we exercise to stay fit, but sleep seems so, I don't know, passive. But I have a feeling it's not as simple as it looks.
Oh, definitely not. The brain is super active during sleep, going through these different stages all night long. Think of it like your brain is getting a nightly tune-up for your mind and body.
Okay, so let's talk about these sleep stages. I've heard of REM sleep, where we dream, but what about the other stages? What's happening in our brains then?
Well, you cycle through 4 stages of non-REM sleep before even getting to REM. And each stage actually has like a different purpose. Think of deep sleep, for example. That's when your body repairs itself, boosts your immune system, and even cleans out toxins from your brain. It's amazing.
Whoa, a brain cleanse. Okay, that explains why I feel so groggy when I don't get enough sleep, like my brain's been skipping its detox. But how does our body even know when to start this whole sleep process?
Well, there are two main things at play. Your internal clock, which is called the circadian rhythm, and something called sleep-wake homeostasis, which is basically like the buildup of sleep pressure throughout the day. That's why you naturally start feeling tired in the evening and more alert in the morning.
Oh, that's so interesting. So it's like our body has its own little sleep tracker built in. But what happens when we mess with that rhythm? Like when we travel across time zones and get jet lag?
That's a perfect example. Jet lag happens because your internal clock is out of sync with the new time zone.
Huh.
And even in everyday life, things like late night screen time or irregular sleep schedules can throw your rhythm off.
Okay, so it's not just about how much we sleep, but also when we sleep. Okay, you've convinced me sleep is essential, but let's talk about the specifics. Why is it so crucial for us?
Okay, so think of sleep as like the foundation for a sharper mind and healthier body. It plays a huge role in learning and memory. There's research showing that infants who nap after learning new words actually remember them better.
Wow, so sleep is essential for learning even from a young age. It's like our brains are downloading information while we sleep. What about physical benefits? I've heard sleep is crucial for like muscle recovery and repair.
It is. During sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which is essential for muscle growth and repair. It also helps regulate your metabolism and even strengthens your immune system.
It's like a nightly reset button for our whole system. Makes you
Mhm.
wonder if like neglecting sleep is basically neglecting our health.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Studies show that chronic sleep deprivation increases your risk of serious health problems like heart disease, diabetes, and even depression.
So how much sleep should we aim for? I'm guessing it varies from person to person.
It does. But there are general guidelines based on age. For example, teenagers usually need more sleep than adults, and older adults might need a bit less than middle-aged folks.
That makes sense. Speaking of age, I'm curious, how have sleep patterns changed throughout history? Have humans always slept the same way?
That's a great question, and the answer is, surprisingly, no. In pre-industrial societies, people often had a biphasic sleep pattern.
Biphasic, what does that even mean?
It means they slept in 2 chunks, with a period of wakefulness in the middle of the night. They might use that time for quiet activities or even socializing.
Wow, that's so different from how we sleep today. It makes you wonder if our modern sleep patterns are really the best for us, or if we've lost something valuable along the way.
It definitely raises some interesting questions about how we approach sleep in today's world.
Totally. Okay, so we've covered sleep stages and rhythms, the impact of sleep on our physical and mental health, and now we're even questioning how we structure our nights. What's next on our deep dive into the world of sleep?
Yeah, it really does make you think, huh, like maybe some of our modern sleep problems are just because modern life clashes with how I don't know, how we evolved to sleep.
Yeah, like we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole or something.
Exactly.
But speaking of sleep problems, I know tons of people struggle with insomnia.
Oh, yeah.
What about other sleep disorders?
Well, insomnia is definitely a big one. Trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, yeah, or both.
Right.
And it leaves you feeling just drained during the day.
Yeah.
But there are others too, like sleep apnea, where your breathing actually stops and starts while you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. A friend of mine uses a CPAP machine for sleep apnea. It like helps them breathe better during the night.
Right. CPAP keeps their airway open. And there's restless leg syndrome too, that urge to move your legs,
Yeah.
and it really messes with your sleep. And narcolepsy, which can cause these sudden sleep attacks during the day.
Wow, so many different ways sleep can be messed up.
Yeah.
It sounds like if you're having serious sleep troubles, talking to a doctor's the best thing.
Oh, for sure. They can figure out what's going on and recommend the right treatment. You don't have to just suffer through it.
Okay, so we've explored the science of sleep, looked at some history, and even touched on sleep disorders.
Right.
But let's get practical for a minute. What can we actually do to sleep better? Like tips and tricks for better sleep hygiene.
Okay, well, one of the simplest things is setting a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on the weekends. It helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like you're training your body to expect sleep at a certain time.
Exactly.
What else can we do to create a sleep-friendly environment?
Think cool, dark, and quiet. Make sure your bedroom is actually a place for sleep, not like a place for work or watching TV.
Okay.
That means dimming the lights in the evening and avoiding screen time before bed. Blue light from devices can really suppress your melatonin production.
Yeah, I am so guilty of that.
Yeah.
Scrolling on my phone in bed. I guess I should swap it for a book or something. What about food and drinks? Anything we should avoid before bed?
Well, you probably already know this one, but caffeine and alcohol close to bedtime are not a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They can disrupt your sleep and prevent you from getting deep restorative sleep.
Yeah, so coffee is great for a morning boost, but not so much for sleep.
Right.
Are there any foods or drinks that actually help you sleep?
Well, some people find that a warm cup of chamomile tea or a little snack with tryptophan, like a handful of almonds or something, can help.
Those are good tips. I'm already feeling more zen, just thinking about a dark, quiet bedroom and no phone.
Nice.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, but what stands out to you as the most important takeaway for our listeners?
You know, for me, it's this. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a basic need. It's as important for your health as eating right and exercising. By making sleep a priority, you're setting yourself up for a better, brighter, more energized life.
I love that. And I think what really got me thinking was that idea of biphasic sleep. It's fascinating to think that maybe the way we sleep now isn't, I don't know, the only way or even the best way.
Right. It makes you wonder.
Totally. Maybe we need a whole separate deep dive just on that topic.
Oh, maybe.
But for now, I think we've given our listeners plenty to think about.
Definitely. And speaking of thinking, before you drift off to sleep tonight, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me more.
But we've talked about how important sleep is for us, you know, how modern life often messes with our natural sleep patterns, and even how people used to sleep in 2 different chunks throughout the night.
Yeah, like they'd get up in the middle of the night, hang out, and then go back to sleep. So different from how we do things.
Exactly. So here's the question. Could making sleep a priority be like one of the most underrated things we can do to improve our lives?
You mean like a secret weapon for better health, more productivity, even happiness?
Yeah, think about it. We're always trying to find ways to optimize our lives, but often we completely forget about sleep.
It's true. We'll spend hours trying to get in a workout or work super late, but then we don't get enough sleep.
It's like we're trying to build a skyscraper, but the foundation is shaky. You know, it doesn't matter how fancy the building is, it won't last without a good base. And that base is sleep. It's the foundation for our energy, for our resilience, even our creativity.
So are you saying we should all ditch our alarm clocks and go for that biphasic sleep thing?
Not necessarily. It's more about understanding that sleep is just as important as eating healthy and exercising. It's about making little changes to improve your sleep, like having a relaxing bedtime routine or putting your phone away before bed.
It's about listening to what your body's telling you and letting yourself rest.
Exactly. When you prioritize sleep, you're not just investing in a good night, but a better you.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into sleep.
Sleep well, everyone. Sweet dreams.